Hey you guys, how are you today? I hope that you are all doing amazing. I had a kind of hard day. I am really trying to just, not let it sink in, just acknowledge it and be like, okay, that happened. It's in the past. I can't do anything to change it. So I have to just move on and just accept it. And if that situation happens again, I know what I need to do better now. And, I'm not going to take it as a fault per se. I'm just going to take it as a lesson. I'm not a horrible person. I'm not going to beat myself up for not achieving what I wanted to do. But I'm just going to be like, okay, this is what happened. And I'm gonna try my best to not let this happen again next time. But anyways, that was just, I needed to get that off of my mind, off of my chest a little bit. Before I got into today's video, I'm going to be talking about an article or a story that I read in like the media. And I think that is something that is kind of fun to talk about. There's so much content out there, and a lot of it just brings about conversations and highlights topics and things that I think are interesting, and it like foster a sense of conversation. So this is like one of the first videos that I'm going to do that does that takes article or whatever from social media, and then I bring it to you guys, and then I talk about it, and then hopefully you guys talk about it with me in the comments. So this is going to be a part of the Up for Discussion series on my channel. I think this is the first or second video part of that series, and basically it is going to be me taking two different sides, two different opinions, and looking at both sides, not trying to be biased, and just bring you kind of like the factual stuff, the factual evidence, and let you guys come to your own conclusions. I think that this is a really fun type of video because it's really like based on you guys and what you think, your experiences, everything that goes on in your head. I'm kind of just like providing you the information and like the start, and then you think about it and you draw your own conclusions, and then you guys tell me about what you think in the end in the comments. So this week's video, I'm going to be talking about CPS calls, Child Protective Services calls. So basically, if someone feels that a child is in danger or being mistreated, a person can call CPS and they can begin an investigation to the child and the parent or the caregiver, whatever situation that child is in. CPS can begin an investigation to see if there is a reason for them to get involved, or if nothing pans out and the child is deemed okay. So since this started because I read an article, I'm gonna tell you the backstory of the article because it was like a story. So basically what happened is a delivery man was dropping off a package at a house, and there were two kids in the house that were visible through the front window, and the two kids were watching a show. They were watching TV. I don't know if it was a show or a movie, but they were watching TV, and the delivery man rang the doorbell to drop off the package, and no one showed up to the door. The kids were just continuing to watch TV alone, and the delivery man took this response or lack of response as a sign that these children were endangered or neglected. The mother was in the house. It was in the morning and she was still in her pajamas. She didn't really feel like going and opening the door because she wasn't, dressed. And I know some people don't like going to the door in their pajamas, seeing people in their pajamas. Some people, they don't really mind, or, it might just be some days are different than others. So whatever the reason, she didn't want to go and open the door. Instead, she just let the person ring the doorbell. She just wanted them to drop the package off and she would get it when she's ready. And so she went into the bathroom. She went to go to the bathroom, and then just a little bit later, like minutes later, she came out of the bathroom and looked out her front window and saw a whole bunch of police cars around. And she was just in shock. She was not expecting to have police cars outside of her house. And that is basically the rundown of the scenario that happened. The kids were in the front room watching television. The delivery man was dropping off a package. He rang the doorbell. Nobody answered, but the mom was inside and awake in the house. So this is where the discussion begins. The two sides begin. The one side is, was that delivery man doing good? Was he making the right decision to call CPS based off of what he saw? Or the other side is, should he have not called CPS? Was that the wrong choice? So I feel like there is a whole lot that can go into picking one side and then picking the other side. So I'm just gonna go over maybe like a couple reasons for why he should have and why he shouldn't. Not personal reasons. Some might say that it is a good thing that that delivery man called CPS, because there are many cases where a child really needs help and assistance and nobody calls or tries to help and protect them and get them in a good, safe, healthy environment. And there's that thing of, you could potentially be saving someone's life even though you don't know that at the beginning. That could be one reason why someone might say it was a good idea that he called CPS, because even though it might not be the most absolute sign that those children needed help, it could have been a sign that there was something going on in that house. Another reason is that it's okay that he called CPS, because there are a bunch of cases that get called in, and a lot of them, majority of them, don't actually lead to investigations requiring action. It's just, it forced the mother to go through some protocol that CPS has to when they do get a report. But now I'm leaning into it was not a good idea that the police, or that the delivery man called CPS, and that would be because there are resources and time and energy that are being put into situations where there is no reason for CPS to be involved, and that is taking away from kids who actually need CPS to get involved and get into action to protect them and be at their aid. Then another reason, which was brought up in the article that I didn't think of or really know of, is parent shaming. And this is the idea that the delivery man was parent shaming the mother because she was not directly with her children, or, visibly observing her children who were watching TV in the front room. So that was a reason why some people were saying that the delivery man was in the wrong, because he's putting the mother down. That is understandable, that feeling. There's so much pressure that comes with being a parent, and single or not, there's so much that a parent has to do to properly care for themselves, their family, their children, their work, etc. So completely understandable, at least to me, that there can be feelings of being shamed when outsiders kind of insinuate that you're not doing enough or the best at being a parent. But I don't think that in every situation where a parent does feel parent shamed, that the person who did the shaming did that intentionally. Sometimes, I know for me, I'll take something very critically, or just in a way that the other person just completely did not mean to do at all. I also am not going to say that the delivery man was intending to parent shame the mother. That is what I'm trying to say. That took me a while to find that. So this just was really an interesting conversation or discussion that I was having, like, internally in my head, because I'm able to see both sides, and I was going to say which side I'm on, but now I don't really know. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, because again, I think it's super important to be aware of things, because you could, again, potentially save someone's life. I know there's that thing in school that would always be said, which is say something, say something. So I feel like I'm getting that from what the delivery man did. But on the other side of things, I do feel like that may have been a bit of a jump to assume that these children were being neglected, or whatever the delivery man was thinking and was having as his reason to call CPS. I do think that it wasn't a sign that I would take as a parent not being there for their child. Where I live, people drop off packages, and sometimes, rarely, they ring the doorbell. Normally they just leave the package there. So I don't think I would ever run into this situation specifically. And yeah, I just feel like for me, it's normal for the parent or whoever to not come to the door and take the package right away. It's custom to just leave the package there and you get it whenever you're ready to get it. So I feel like I'm leaning more towards the delivery man wasn't in the right to do that, but then also that other part of my brain is just like, what if, what if that was a sign? So I'm really going back and forth here in my head. But let me know what you guys think. Again, very interesting situation happened, and I wanted to bring it up. in a video because I feel like it is a good discussion to have. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I want to hear if you have anything else to add. I so appreciate you being here with me today. And if you're a returning viewer, I am extra thankful for you. So special that you want to come back and hear what I have to say. Just again, so appreciated. I hope that you guys all have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing month, an amazing year, and an amazing life.